Great decorating is all about the details, including a gorgeous textured set of coasters. How we love a coaster. Functional. And why not be beautiful? Quince has a gorgeous set of woven rattan coasters in 3 terrific colors with their own little holder that you're going to absolutely love. And if you haven't visited quince.com/DTT yet, get on over there. It's everyday elevated living without the markup. From crisp 100% linen bedding and soft organic cotton towels to airy curtains and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And the best part? Like Quince's clothing, their home goods are half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. What's a mistake except an opportunity to learn? Hey, I'm Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today we're coming at you fast and furious with decorating mistakes. If you hear one and you're doing it, that's okay. You can fix it, you can change it, and you can learn from it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the thing is, we've made so many decorating mistakes. And if you're not making mistakes, then you're not stretching, you're not trying new things, and you're probably not learning. So this is all part of the process, and you can get better at it if when you do something and it doesn't work, you kind of know how to fix it. So, I think it's just all part of the process. It's all good making mistakes. We really try to steer you away from big ticket mistakes. That's when you're going to be crying.
For those of you who have not experienced one of our Fast and Furious episodes before, we're just going to come at you with a lot of, in this case, mistakes, decorating mistakes, and highlight them quickly and move on. So you're going to get a lot of information about mistakes in this episode. So Anita, you want to kick us off with your first?
Keeping something you hate. And I call this being held hostage by your stuff. And really, this is about somebody giving you something that you really don't like, but you love the person that gave it to you and you feel like you cannot get rid of it. Guess what? You can.
Absolutely. It would be a decorating mistake to keep it. My top decorating mistake is lack of planning. You have to plan. The more time you spend planning, the better it's going to be at the end. And there's a lot of little mistakes that can happen, or big mistakes, when you don't plan. So you can avoid all of those by really taking your time and putting a plan together.
So my next one is not adding enough color to the room. This happens a lot. Even if it's a neutral room, you need some color in the room. Don't go all white or gray or all black and white. You need some other color or the room is going to feel flat.
Not being bold enough. Take a chance.
Okay, having a room that feels impersonal. This means that you bought everything like at Target, Home Goods, TJ Maxx. That's a great place to buy things, but you don't want everything in your house looking like it came from one of those stores.
Not having a focal point. This is really important for each room, but particularly your public rooms. Lots of times you've got a built-in one, whether it's a fireplace or something like that, but each room should have a focal point.
Clutter. It can destroy the most beautiful room. We just cannot overemphasize this enough. Decluttering a cluttered room is going to make all the difference. So keep that clutter at bay.
Oh, yeah, that is such a killer of a good look, is the clutter. Put down your phone. Think about what you really want. Don't try to emulate somebody that you're seeing on Instagram or Pinterest or blogs or whatnot. Sure, get inspiration, but then make it your own.
You know, Kelly, that kind of harkens back to what I was saying about don't go with things that feel impersonal. Really come up with your own style. So I think that's really very important. The next thing I have to add is dated sofa cushion covers. If your sofa looks dated, there's a simple fix. of just putting a throw over it and tucking it around the cushions. So don't feel like you have to buy a new sofa if your sofa looks a little dated, but that's a big one.
That is a big one. Here's another big one. Don't go with cheap window treatments. Anita and I love no window treatments if you can get away with it. But if you have to have window treatments for privacy or sun protection, invest, save up, have nice window treatments. There is no getting around cheap fabric or just something dangling there from the rod. What do you think about that, Anita?
I so much agree that there's a lot of bad curtains out there. And well, I mean, you really don't have to anymore because there's so many great places to get nice curtains that you used to have to pay a whole lot of money to have made custom. So, I mean, just go out there. Pottery Barn, Restoration Hardware, Ballard Designs, your favorite half-price drapes. These are all great sources. And how about dated lamps? If you have a dated lamp, try replacing that lampshade.
Oh, it really brings down a room. And I knew at some point soon we were going to start having the same items to talk about. I know. 100% agree. So underline that one. Dated lamps, dated lampshades. If you love the lamp and you hate the lampshade itself could just bring it all down. I mean, you know, those bell-shaped in the silk with the cording, the time has passed. Let it go. So do yourself a favor and refresh those shades, and if not, the entire lamp. This is along the lines of focal point. You got to have something that grounds the room. Now, that can be a piece of furniture, obviously a large piece of furniture. That could even be a rug, something that's going to anchor the space. We see it a lot too when people have a lot of furniture that has legs, so you can see under everything. Everything sort of feels like it's floaty. If you've got that going on, try a piece of furniture that goes to the ground, something that's a little heavier, something that's going to ground the space. And I know Anita in the past has talked about those all white rooms where your eye didn't know where to rest. And I think the problem there is no grounding, right? There's nothing really anchoring the space.
I think that is important to ground it with, you know, it's like my mom, the painter, said, have something dark and light in every room. How about this one? Ignoring the foyer. You know, most houses have a foyer and you don't want to walk in and there's just nothing in there. I mean, this is the place where you're setting the tone for the rest of the house. So put something really beautiful, stunning in there. And if you don't have room for a pretty table or chair, put your best artwork in there. Just something to really pull people in and get them excited about coming into your home.
Oh, that's a good one. That's definitely not on my list, but now it is. Hey, forgetting your touch of black. Anita just mentioned about her mom saying something dark, something light. We love a touch of black. And anybody who's listened to us and then tried that has said, oh my gosh, now I get it.
I love putting black touches in every room. How about this? Not testing paint before putting it on the wall. I think we've all had these disasters, and I certainly had my share of this with a Pepto-Bismol wall in a previous house. Just go with the sample eyes.
Yeah, mine was a lemon sherbet guest room. Oh, so bad.
I know.
You know I like yellow, but that was not the yellow I liked.
And here's a little tip. If you start painting and it doesn't look good and you think, well, it'll look better when I do the whole room, it won't. Just go with the sample eyes. Or just paint a little piece of cardboard, something, test it out, do yourself a favor.
Yeah, that's such an avoidable mistake. So many of these are things you can fix today, even. Certainly a pretty easy fix, a lot of things we've talked about already. And the painting and the testing the painting, that's something you can completely avoid. Maybe you put it under the planning category. You know, if you picked your colors, then test it. Get the paint pot, get the sample, put it on the wall, move it around. Here's something very practical. If you're creating a bathroom or changing your bathroom during a renovation, make sure the shower head is on a different side to the shower knobs. Because if you can do that, it avoids the idea of reaching into the shower and getting wet every single time. It might not be possible, but if it is, think about it and maybe you can avoid that.
Wow, I've never seen that. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, every bathroom I've seen, the knobs are right under the shower, and it's impossible to get in there and turn them without getting some part.
I know, right? You have to dip in. I was like, jump right out. Yes, no, definitely you can do it. I mean, obviously it's a plumbing issue, particularly if you're going to put in a luxurious bathroom. You don't want to get hit with usually very cold water every time you turn on the faucet for the shower. That's something to think about. But again, that goes into the planning category.
Okay, how about this? Uncomfortable dining or kitchen chairs. And I admit to being guilty of this because I find a pretty cute chair and I put it in, and then someone's complaining about it not being comfy. I've certainly had that happen. So if that's your case, then put an extra cushion on it or switch them out with some other chairs or something, because that can be very unpleasant for guests. Or really just your family sitting there if they don't want to sit there long enough to have a conversation because their tushy isn't comfy.
I'm surprised you didn't say, just put that thought in the suggestion box. I'm keeping my little chairs. I know you do love your little chairs. Going full on anything. You don't want to go too hard into any one particular style. You want to mix it up. You want to have more of a collected look. And it could also be a color. We have seen a lot of full-on gray rooms, and they're not so good because there's really no life there. So don't go too hard in one direction.
Well, that is true, and that's kind of what I was saying, to add a little bit of color, even if you have a neutral room. And when we've seen people go overboard, it's usually with the gray. It's not usually red or blue or green. It's with the neutrals. So I think that is an excellent idea.
Because I think the gray was so popular for so long, and the gray seemed kind of safe because it is a neutral, right? You know, like you're like, oh, I'm making a red room and lacquering the walls. You know, that seems way too bold. So the gray really got overdone.
Right. And I mean, it works if there's other stuff in the room, but not when everything is gray or black, then it's not going to work. So how about this? Stuff spilling out of the closets. Can't find anything in there. You're afraid to go in there.
It's definitely a mistake.
Oh, yeah, I know. So bins, boxes, just get that organized.
No plants. Don't tell me you have a brown thumb. I don't believe in brown thumbs. You shouldn't either. Get yourself a plant. You can definitely keep a house plant alive. And wow, what a plant does to a room. And if you are going to go for it and you're feeling confident, get a big plant, because the bigger the better, in my opinion.
Oh my goodness. I finally went ahead and bought a bunch of plants, and I love going in there. And when I take the plants out to water them, it feels so bare. So it really has made a difference in my house. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. I mixed in a few fake plants, and I had some people over and asked them which ones were the fakes and which ones were the real, and they had a hard time figuring it out. So when your guests can't tell, then you've done it right. And I think if you mix them in, that's a really good way to go, because then your eye kind of says, oh yeah, that's definitely real. So all this stuff is real.
Did they get a prize if they got it right, or was it just for fun? I would want a prize.
There was no prize.
Okay. How about this one? Oh, I'm going out of turn. It's your turn. Go ahead.
No, I think I just did the plants.
I did the plants.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is my turn. You're right. Okay. How about this? Too small an area rug. When it just looks like those front legs of everything are just barely hanging on, then maybe it's too small. Or maybe it doesn't even touch all the furniture in that seating area. Go big.
Yeah. No, we've said before, no bath mats in the living room or family room. You want to be able to have the furniture. I mean, ideally, right, all the legs, but at least the front legs, and then a good portion of underneath the major pieces of furniture. Don't you think that would be the rule of thumb, Anita?
Oh, yeah, for sure. At least, you want those front legs solidly on the rug, minimally.
You don't want them to look like they're hanging on by their toenails.
Yeah, exactly.
Warm flooring. So kind of in my mind, I'm picturing warm wood flooring and cool walls. They don't really work together. So if you've got a floor with a warm undertone, really be careful not to make the mistake of picking a wall color that has a cool undertone. It's going to make the whole space feel off.
There's just no way fixing that except changing the stain on the floor or changing the paint on the walls. And so hopefully The room isn't that big because I think paint on the walls is probably going to be the easiest thing to do.
Paint on the walls would be the way I'd go to fix that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I had this in my very first house we ever bought, and I always hated it, and I still remember it. Vertical blinds. Not good. Yeah.
Is that that's kind of a law not to have those, isn't it? Or is that just a mistake?
Well, it's a decorating law.
Yeah. That might be an actual offense rather than just a mistake. So I'm sorry if you have those, but I guess they served a purpose, and it is hard to deal with sliders, but maybe just take them off and take the track off and maybe put a big plant in front of it. Not enough layers. Layers in a room make it interesting, and you can have layers in lots of different ways. You can layer rugs, you can have layered textiles, you can throw a Suzanne or a beautiful blanket over the back of a sofa. So there's a lot of ways that you can work in layers. So it's up to your own interpretation, but adding enough layers to a room really amps up the interest level. And particularly if those layers have different textures and colors or patterns, can really give your room a designer look. Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. So have you tried Dupe yet? If you haven't, come on, dupe.com. It is going to be your new shopping best friend. And it's not just for furniture. I know I've shared with you about my coffee table dupe, but you can save money with Dupe on fashion, shoes, jewelry, and more. I just used Dupe to find an absolute perfect twin of this t-shirt that I wanted. It was an $80 t-shirt. I was not going to pay $80 for a t-shirt. Dupe helped me find the twin, like maybe the exact same shirt. Find something you love, and then you can find replicas, twins, and maybe the exact thing for so much less. Give Dupe a try today. It is really so easy to use. You just type dupe.com/ before any product URL in your browser, and voila, it instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account is required. No sign up is required. It is completely free. I know, can you believe it? But it is completely free to use. Stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today.
Oh, I love a beautiful Suzanne, a beautiful fabric in the room anywhere, on the furniture, a pillow, a throw. Adds so much excitement and interest to a room. A beautiful, colorful rug. Oh my goodness. I just love adding those very interesting textures and fabrics and textiles to a room. How about the big clunky chairs? And I don't know that they sell them much anymore, but if you have chairs from 20 years ago, take a look at them, because they may be really big and chunky and you might not have thought of it recently, but that look has really changed over the years, and that can really throw a room off balance.
Balance is such something you really have to pay attention to. We have an episode on balance, so we can reference that in the show notes. But you don't want your balance to be off for sure. And those chairs can definitely tip the room. Oftentimes they were called chair and a half. I know I had those. Yeah, it was like two chairs, really. I mean, forget the half. And sometimes it came with a big giant ottoman and the arms were rolled. Just way too big, and they don't play well with other furniture that you're seeing that's available right now. So yeah, definitely take a look at those. How about too much symmetry? You got to throw it off a little bit. And asymmetry is not the opposite of symmetry. It's a form of symmetry. So sometimes that really creates some interest in a room, and it can be in a really small way. If you have, say, two chairs flanking something, one chair could have a throw off the side of it, off the arm, and maybe the other one has a lumbar pillow. They don't both have to have lumbar pillows or both have the same throw. That could be just the tiniest little bit of asymmetry can make the room more interesting.
I so agree. Now, I like to have a pair of lamps and a pair of chairs in a room. I don't think there needs to be symmetry in everything, but I do like that symmetry. So get some symmetry in the room, but not everything. I think that's very smart. You got to add a little bit of both. It's all balance, which we've been saying. Mirrored walls are something I have seen so much in townhouses and condos, and no, I can't with this. Just take it down. Put some big mirrors. That's great. But a mirrored wall, I feel like it's 1975. No.
I wonder why you're seeing so much of that, because you've been looking at homes recently and you've told me time and time again and that it had a mirrored wall. That should not be coming back.
Well, I'll tell you why they've done it. It's in a condo or a townhouse where there's not a lot of windows in that room. So they think, oh, we're going to reflect the light. Yeah, but come on. It's just not a good look. You can't hang artwork there. There's just, no. I cannot tell you how much I dislike it.
Live in the space before you buy anything expensive or non-returnable. Now, I know this is hard because you're excited about moving into your new apartment or your new condo or your new house, or you're building a house and you want to buy things and get that rolling. If you can avoid doing that beforehand, it will almost ensure that you're not going to make a big, expensive mistake. Because a lot of times in your mind, something's going to work, but in reality, it doesn't. And so I would really take pause and sort of just put it in your planning, get the swatches, do your measuring again and again before you click buy or before you go to the store and purchase it. And if it's returnable, it's still a hassle, but at least you can get it back to the store and get your money back. But really try to live in the space. You might not want to even use the rooms the way the person before you did. You might want to shake things up. So get in the space, see how it feels to actually live there.
Oh, absolutely. We really want you to avoid making some big ticket purchase and then it not working out for you. Okay, another one. This is kind of like the vertical blinds, mini blinds. And I see them everywhere. I mean, they're really my least favorite thing to have in a window. Now, before I'm called a hypocrite, I will tell you they are in our vacation rental house that we have in the mountains.
Oh, okay.
But the reason I have them there is because people are just kind of renters are very rough on the house, and we have to replace those every 6 months or so. And so I do not want to spend money and put in really nice blinds, and then I have to replace that on a regular basis. So, I mean, the mini blinds probably break quicker than the other kind, but I just figure as long as we're running it out and kids are just, throwing them against the wall, I'm like, mm-mm. But other than that, I don't have them. But so I know there's going to be situations, maybe you're renting or maybe you're on a low budget, but if you can afford it, get rid of those.
Don't deny the dimmer. That's all I'm going to say. I talk about dimmers all the time. Don't deny the power of the dimmer, because that would be a mistake.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You want a dimmer. How about wood paneling that isn't painted? Now, I know there's a lot of wood paneling out there, and some of it looks great not painted, but there's a lot we've seen that's not so great looking. So just kind of look at it with an objective eye if you have stained wood paneling, and just make sure that you're really happy with.
I was ending with my dimmer. So I'm dimming on my suggestions about decorating mistakes. Do you have any more you want to add?
No, that was it.
Do you want to share a mistake that you've made?
Well, I mean, there's so many. Oh, so many. But I'm going to just give two sofa ones. One was I used to always buy a floral sofa because I just wanted the most pattern, the most interest in the room. And of course, in a few years, they just started to look dated pretty quickly. And then I would have to replace the sofa only because the fabric was dated. So that's my first sofa mistake. My second sofa mistake, I got that right. I got a solid red sofa. Red.
I have neutral, red sectional, red. Giant red sectional.
So I'm not even going to say the fact that it was red was the mistake, although it ended up being a mistake also. The mistake was it almost did not fit through my front door. So it didn't even occur to me that might happen.
Oh, okay. So we could add that one to our list. Definitely measure your furniture and your doorways because I almost had a problem like that too in an apartment that we had. Painting. I'll give a painting one. Yes, that lemon sherbet I referenced earlier. Oh, it was just horrible. And I didn't take the advice that Anita said. I thought, it'll get better. It'll get warmer. It'll look better. Oh, it was just, I'm like, my teeth hurt. It really, you felt like you were inside a scoop of lemon sherbet. And I thought, this is the worst. What? It's the worst color. And it was a north-facing room. It was just all bad. So had I just tested it, wow, I would have saved a lot of time, stress, and money. So everybody's made mistakes. They're easy to avoid, much easier to avoid than to fix. But we just want to highlight a bunch of things today. And if anything resonated with you on that list that you can easily fix, go for it and do it. Or keep these things in mind. And so you can avoid these mistakes down the line.
And I'm going to say, these are our opinions. If you disagree, that's okay too, because it's all about making a home that you love.
That is so true. That's what we say all the time. It's all about you guys. And something new we want to share is we have a new website, and it's pretty fabulous. And it's actually getting more and more fabulous every day. Anita's been working super hard on it. So check it out. If you are a stranger to our show notes and you don't normally go there, have a look. If you are somebody who checks the show notes all the time and enjoys all the links that we share, I think you're going to love this site even more. There's so much more to do there. You can see my YouTube channel. You can sign up for a consult. You can read through all the show notes. And we're just adding more bells and whistles to our new website. But it's the same address, decoratingtipsandtricks.com.
That's right. And you can leave us a voicemail. I mean, we've gotten quite a few messages in the contact sheet on the new website, but not any voicemails yet. So somebody leave us a voicemail and say, hey.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, it's fun to hear your voice. And if you do, we might use it on the air. So make sure you say something nice. Okay. Anita, what are we defining today?
Well, we were talking about lampshades, so I thought I would define an empire lampshade because everyone knows what a drum shade is, right? But what's that other thing called? It's called an empire lampshade. Now, there's a bell shape, too, which has the real curve on it. But the empire is the one where the top diameter is much smaller than the bottom diameter. And that is the empire shade, where it flares out at the bottom, and it comes in a range of sizes from small mini shades to the big size for a floor lamp, and the degree of the slope varies. But I thought that would be nice. So when you're out shopping, if you want that, you can say, oh, by the way, do you have any empire lampshades?
Now, how do you feel about the empire being a look for today? Because we talk about the drum a lot as being sort of the shade of choice right now.
My preference is a drum shade, but I did want to define an empire so that you know what it's called. But yeah, I think the drum shades really are the way to go. And I think they've been really kind of the standard for several years now. So if you do have an empire and you feel like your lamp does look old, try switching it out for a drum shade.
Yeah, but I like the empire too. I mean, I think there's a place for the empire still. It's the bell, the one that really kind of comes down and then curves out and sort of flares back up. That's the one I think really seems dated. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah. That's the one that you just hardly ever see anymore. And yeah, when you see it, maybe it's got fringe and it's on, maybe it's got
or that cording, or it's made of silk or something like that. Yeah. You don't see it out to buy it, but you see it in people's houses.
Or it's a vintage shop.
They're still alive and well in people's homes. Yes. What's your crush?
My crush. Oh, I'm so excited. They're coming today. I bought some really beautiful House of Hackney blue and white floral towels. And this is through Anthropologie because they now have a partnership. And I have had my eye on them for a while, so I was waiting for them to go on sale. And they are on sale now. And yes, I was explaining how I needed several towels because we have people coming. We have a Bible study here on Thursday nights. And I said, oh, well, we can't have the same towels every week. And I was told, yes, you can. But too late. I bought several towels.
Wait, if I was picturing big towels, and I'm like, why is the Bible group showering and it need a towel? So these are...
Why, we're doing baptisms, Kelly. No, they're hand towels in the powder room. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
That is so funny. Oh, okay. Well, wait, who said you could have the same towels every week?
Well,
of course you want to switch them up if you can.
You know who said that. I didn't need new towels. But, I feel like it's boring to have if you're here every week, do you really want to be using that same hand towel? Because then you start thinking, did these get washed since the last time I was here? Because these were here last week.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Maybe somebody would be like, yes, but somebody would purposely leave a little lipstick on them and be like, oh, is this still here next week? No, it's a whole new towel. How could
That's
it
right.
be?
Oh no, you can tell it's different because these are my House of Hackney towels. Anyway, I've ordered several different types, so I'm having fun with that. So, how about you?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, that crew should really be focusing on what they're reading, not your towels. But I think they really probably do appreciate what they're doing. And I love the House of Hackney. And if anybody is not familiar with them, they are really a wallpaper company initially, right? And so vibrant and great patterns and lots of colors. So I didn't know they were doing towels now with Anthropologie.
Oh, they're really pretty. So you got to go check them out.
Wow, I will. And definitely I would suggest people check out House of Hackney on Instagram. They got to have a great Insta. Okay, so Fantasy Crush. I haven't been there, but if anybody wants to go for like a girls' weekend or something, I'm down. It's a Cotswold Airbnb run through a company called Sand and Stone Escapes. I'm sure they have various other wonderful places too. But it's Well Cottage in Ramsden. Ramsden is also translates to Wild Garlic Valley. And this little town and this Airbnb are incredible. I would love to go there and have like a jaunt and do a hike and then come back and maybe walk up to the pub, which is 4 minutes walk away. You guys have to check this place out. It's just worth looking at it just to get some inspiration and idea. And certainly if you love the English countryside, you're going to absolutely love the photos. But if anybody's thinking about going to the Cotswolds anytime soon and you need a place to stay, I thought I would just share this. And if you want to invite me to come along, I am going to say I will make myself available at any time.
Ooh, that sounds really nice. Oh, okay, let's go.
Let's have a DTT adventure there.
There you go. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.